Hello and welcome to a 19-minute long episode of a weekly Waypoint, purely because one match was not long enough and the other was far too long. So it doesn't show on theatre mode in Halo Infinite how long matches are, so I couldn't choose matches that kind of lined up to be around 16 minutes long or something like that. But there you go, we got a few more extra minutes of rambling, and hey, probably gonna need it because it was a busy week. First of all, a few things about the gameplay you may have already noticed, but there's currently a bug in theatre mode where you hear everybody's personal AI. So no, I do not have Fret or Lumu or Cirque or any of those. I have Butler, but you're also going to hear other people's butlers too. The second match is Big Team Battle, and let me tell you, it is just chatterfest. In fact, theatre mode is very buggy at the minute. I think they've probably fixed it up a bit since I last tried the other day, but there was a bug which it turns out, having read the bug fix, it was because if someone left the game and you tried to spectate them, it would like delete other spectators from your list, so you could only spectate one or two people for the rest of the game. It was super weird. Like, I was trying to fast forward to find a particular bit where I got a triple kill, and then I just couldn't get to my character at that particular point in time, and it kept shunting me into other people's point of view. It was quite frustrating, but that is not indicative of the rest of the Halo Infinite experience. It's actually been, apart from the slow battle pass, pretty damn amazing. Now obviously last week Halo Infinite wasn't even out yet. We were talking about like, oh wow, there's rumours that it's gonna come out tomorrow, it's gonna shadow drop as part of the Xbox 20th birthday celebration, and even though it was coming from lots of very reliable sources, I was still very not entirely convinced, because, you know, when does a game ever release early? That never happens. But release early it did. You're looking at it right now, it's Halo Infinite, baby. Sorry to butt in, but I just realised I forgot to mention that I used my sidearm a lot in this particular match because I was trying to complete a challenge. Probably not the best tactical decision, but there you go. It is so much fun. The gameplay is so much fun. The battle pass, they fixed it up a bit, and now you can actually progress at a reasonable rate, even though all they've done is what they call a band-aid. Even that has made the game far more satisfying to play in terms of reward progression. So yeah, it's really fun. Go play it. It's free on PC and Xbox. And I don't know why I clarified it that way, because it's not anything anywhere else, obviously. My only concern is, and I guess I shouldn't be too concerned because I'm only level 10 right now, but my only concern is when I finish the battle pass, it looks like the next one isn't scheduled until May 2022, which is like 6 months, where most battle pass are like 3 months. And granted, with most games I'm kind of there like, oh, I wish we would have more time, and the good thing about Halo's battle pass is that once you have it, you have it. They never take it away from you, even when the next one drops, which is frankly how all battle passes should be, and I've been preaching that since before Halo Infinite even suggested such a thing. I think before Halo Master Chief Collection implemented that idea. It just seems like a no-brainer, right? Leave it in the store and then other people can buy it. I don't know if they're going to do this for Halo Infinite, but I don't see why not. Leave it in the store and then people can buy previous seasons if they're really getting down to playing the game and they've got extra time on their hands. You know, make some more money. You know, I guess artificial scarcity maybe makes more sense for business numbers, which is, you know, but I guess that's what it is. Otherwise most people would be doing it the way Halo's doing it. But yeah, my concern is that I'm going to blast through the 100 levels, and then if I'm not progressing any kind of battle pass, playing the multiplayer, as fun as it is going to feel a little bit meaningless, because like it or not, this is 2021 and multiplayer has to have some sort of meta progression to it now. We can't just go back to the days of Halo 3 when you didn't really need any kind of artificial progression outside of a multiplayer experience. You just kind of played it because it was fun. Nowadays we've been brainwashed to not like that, so I guess that's why we're like that now. I mean, I say that, but I'll still play games like Unreal Tournament from time to time, you know. I'd obviously still play some Halo if I had no progression, but you get what I mean. I know they're doing these event things, like the Tenrai event next week is going to have 30 levels. It seems to be free, and it seems to be a time-limited event, so I'm guessing you've got to get those 30 levels grinded out before the thing goes away. We're going to see what that's like. Or maybe you just pick up the event pass and you can do it at your own leisure. I don't know, that's still a little bit up in the air. They haven't really elaborated on that. But either way, having an absolutely fantastic time, and I'm gonna probably play a lot of this, probably get used to seeing this. It's gonna be in a fair few weekly waypoints, I would imagine, and there's gonna be a fair few Halo Infinite shenanigans videos going out. So yeah, well, welcome to my life, Halo Infinite. You are going to be the new Overwatch in my brain, because the only multiplayer game I've ever really sunk a huge amount of time into would be Overwatch. Around 2017 I played that game pretty much non-stop, or with very little breaks in between not playing it, for about a year straight, and I had a lot of fun playing it, and I've never really done that with a multiplayer game before. I think it's fairly common for people to do that, but just for me personally, I don't tend to do that, and I can very much see, obviously I shouldn't say it before I'm doing it, but I can see Halo Infinite has that special sauce. There's a fair few games coming out right now that have that special sauce, that yummy tasty licky sorry, I don't know why I did that. One of those games that I wouldn't have believed you if you'd told me about it last week is Pokémon Brilliant Diamond. I've written about this already on my blog fairly extensively. I've called it reconsidering Pokémon Brilliant Diamond, so go to kritigri.wordpress.com if you want a more coherent kind of thing about that. See, I can't talk, so I'm better at writing than talking, as I've always said, which is why I have this series, obviously, where I talk about my experiences every week. Oh dear. Yeah, I've already put out a video as well on Saturday of my experiences, so you can also go and watch my first experiences and watch me expecting to not like the game that much. Why would you spend £50 on a game you're not expecting to like that much? Well, my friends, I love Pokemon Diamond. It was my first proper Pokemon experience that I fully played through start to finish. It was what really got me into the franchise, what really got me to love Pokemon, and it's important to me. And also my mobile bill fell between months, so I was like, oh, I can afford it, nice. So those are the two reasons why I picked it up, and I have been pleasantly surprised so far. I mean, to kind of summarize what I basically wrote about the game, the stuff that bothered me about the game from the outset when it was first revealed still bother me, just not on a level which ruins the good parts of the game, of which there are many. Mainly the fact that they're a remake of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which are brilliant games that I haven't played for a very long time, so that's probably getting some good marks there. Now you might say, Christian, if that's the case, why don't you just make a new save on Pokemon Diamond on the DS and play through it again? Well, that just wouldn't be as good, would it? I don't know, leave me alone. I think I did try to do that once with Piplup, because I always go with spoilers for Saturday's video, Turtwig as the starter, but it didn't really grab hold of me. I don't know why. This was years and years ago though, so maybe it was just the wrong time. I don't know though, dude, there's something about playing games on older hardware that's harder to really get into as much. Also, I wouldn't be able to make videos, and that's a big deal for me, being able to make videos out of clips and stuff. I love being able to make videos out of my gameplay. It really adds to the gameplay experience for me, so kind of going through this journey in Pokemon Diamond and being able to share it with you guys and archive it for myself to watch back at a later date maybe, and just the process of recording it, reacting to it audibly, editing it later, adding edited jokes, it's just all fun. It's all good. I'm actually not that far through Pokemon Brilliant Diamond right now. I've only got one gym badge because I'm, to quote the guy in Auberg City, a total noob. As I'm recording this, and yesterday from your perspective, it's also Pokemon Go Community Day for Shinx. So I've already caught 3 shiny Shinx, but they all have pretty shit IVs. Not that IVs really matter when you're getting shinies, but in a Pokemon Community Day, when shinies are as easy to come by as they are, then you might as well try and grind out a decent IV shiny Shinx. And shiny Shinx is pretty cool because he's golden instead of blue. He's got quite a big colour palette swap, which is not always the case, sadly. A lot of times Pokemon just have very, very, very slight colour variations, which I will always find stupid, dumb, doo-doo, and annoying. Obviously I can't transfer the shiny Shinx to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond as of yet, or maybe even ever, because I don't think we've got all of those details yet, but I can transfer it to Pokemon Home, and probably to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond at a later date, so that's nice. I don't know if I will transfer it to Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Maybe I'll transfer it to Pokemon Sword to use in max raid battles. Maybe that's what I'll do, who knows. But yeah, I'm having a grand old time romping around through Sinnoh again. And, you know, maybe the remake isn't everything I wanted it to be in my mind, but at the end of the day it's still a remake, and its quality of life changes are very much appreciated and probably benefit the game greatly when it comes to my enjoyment of it. Wow, I'm really good at constructing sentences today. Is it a weekly waypoint if I don't criticize my own sentence construction? I don't know. What else happened this week? I feel like I'm forgetting something big. In terms of games anyway. I started playing Immortals Fenyx Rising again, I guess. Expect a video on that at some point in the near future. Not from the beginning of the game, I'm afraid. I did toy around with the idea of maybe making a new save file, not in that game, but in a different one to, like, you know, start from the beginning for a video or something, and maybe rejig the Let's Play format into just a more coherent shenanigans, adventures in, you know, that kind of style of video, where I'm actually taking clips of important story points and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I tried it with Super Mario 3D World, and I'm just like, it just kills my motivation to play the game, so it's incredibly counterintuitive. So I'm just starting this Immortals Fenyx Rising video with a little hey, by the way, this is starting from like maybe a quarter of a way through the game, and it's not really a big deal because it's not a game that's big on plot. It's an exploration of the Greek mythology, but the plot is extremely simple and easy to follow and kind of hard to spoil because, again, Greek mythology. Oh, you know what? Getting back to Halo a bit, but not Infinite, I didn't realise that I finished the Halo 5 campaign this week, this Monday to be exact, so it was a little bit after I recorded last week's Waypoint. I finished the campaign, and I should have had a video published yesterday, as of the time that you're hearing this, of my entire playthrough of it, so you can watch that to get a decent idea of how I felt about that campaign. But you know what? No matter how bad the campaign was in comparison to other games, I'm now kind of just like, I want to play for a Halo campaign again. I don't want to wait for Halo Infinite. So yeah, I think that was the other big thing that was looming in the back of my mind, but because I didn't attribute it to this week until I scrolled through my own Twitter feed, don't ever do that. I say like I don't always do that. I didn't realise that that's what I wanted to talk about, but yeah, Halo 5, played it, finished it, and it does feel nice to finish a video game, a linear one, that you can just be like, boop, finished. I was going to try and choose another one, and then I ended up getting Pokémon, so that's probably the one I'm playing through right now. I'm talking, of course, about my idea I've had in recent weeks to always have a linear video game that can be finished, or abandoned if I'm not feeling it. A game that's not going to be too long, but just so that I'm getting through gaming experiences instead of constantly letting them linger in my backlog. I'm not like making a pledge to go and play through all my backlog or something crazy and dumb like that. That's never going to happen. But maybe, you know, I can play. I've already talked about this. I can just play through more like start-end games. You know, games with a beginning and an ending. Fuck me, are we only like 13 minutes in? Okay, geez, what else? The Wheel of Time has got an Amazon Prime Video adaptation out, and I'm not going to talk too much about it for fear of spoilers, and because I'm probably going to do a video about it by the end of the season to kind of summarise my thoughts on it, but I will say that episode 1 in particular has a lot of fundamental changes, some which are good. In fact, I don't think any of them are bad. I'll just say some which felt necessary, and some which felt unnecessary. I was a little bit concerned because, you know, when a show starts out making unnecessary changes to some of the characters and the lore, you know, you're going to be a little bit concerned, right? Because then what other changes are they going to make further down the road that are going to snowball into bigger changes by the time we finish, what, season 14? Is that how long it's going to have to go? It's a concern, especially when you consider that Game of Thrones was so good when it was following the source material. When it ran out of source material, it began to suffer. But saying that, Wheel of Time has the benefit of having the source material finished and then maybe being able to go over with a comb and kind of like maybe fine-tune some stuff, because when you've got a series that big, there's some stuff that you know, Robert Jordan obviously isn't around anymore, sadly, but I don't know what he would have wanted, but I don't know who's stewarding the kind of the series, the world now that Brandon Sanderson's finished writing it, but you know, there's probably some stuff like, I mean, look at Stephen King's Dark Tower, for instance. He actually went back and made a change to the first book by the time he finished the series, because he thought it would link the kind of books together a little bit better. And yeah, maybe this is some of that happening. Obviously not from the original creator, but just like maybe this is some stuff that I haven't got to yet in the books that's just being shunted into being a little bit earlier, or maybe it's I don't think it's that, to be fair, or it's just like some more things to make characters stand out. I don't think they're bad changes. I was just a little bit concerned when episode 1 was as different as it was. And there is one change I really don't like, actually, to be honest. But I'm not going to talk about it because that would be a spoiler. You're just going to have to wait for my thoughts on video. Or I could just come right out and say it. It's a relationship between two characters that aren't in a relationship in the books at that point, or at any point. It just felt so unnecessary. Why did they do that, for God's sake? But I'm trying not to be like that about it because, again, you know, it's its own version of a story. And actually, funnily enough, when I went to bed that night after watching those first 3 episodes they put up, I went to bed and started listening to The Fires of Heaven, which is the book I'm currently on. And for the first maybe chapter I listened to, I had a really tough time consolidating the ideas in my head of who these characters were versus the ones that I'd just seen. Matt in particular is so different in my head to in the books. Like, I think he's great in the show. I really do, but he's more of like a tortured soul than he is like a prankster that he is in the books. I don't know, it's weird. Also, he's way more attractive than I expected him to be. It's incredibly distracting. But yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes, and by the end of episode 3 I wanted more. I'm really excited to see more areas of the book. I still can't quite imagine how they're going to handle later books and all the different characters and locations and everything that happens. That's kind of what I was having trouble picturing in my head when I was listening to The Fires of Heaven. I got to the big kind of battle in that book. Not right at the end. I'm not right at the end. I don't know if there's another big battle, but around chapter 40. And I'm just trying to imagine like the TV show characters being in those scenes. I still think that The Wheel of Time as a series has the potential to be as big and successful as Game of Thrones. I do think Game of Thrones took a few seasons to really get the cultural following that it did, and I don't know what people's reactions to the first 3 episodes actually are. I haven't looked it up because I fear that whenever I put anything about Wheel of Time into a search engine I'll just spoil the books for myself, so I'm assuming the reaction has been mostly positive because I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying that I tend to agree with people's reactions, actually. You know what, yeah, I have no idea what people think about it, but, you know, I liked it. I think casting the guy who plays Roose Bolton as Tam Alfor was a weird choice, though. Like, I mean, it worked, but I was like, he's Tam? Out of all people. Okay, sure. Also, the CGI isn't always great, and the ending of the episode 1 was a little bit rushed, and yeah, I have lots of little niche critiques and stuff, but you know, that's gonna wait till the thoughts on, or not, because if I wait till the end of the season I'll probably forget all of those, so it's good that I mention them here. One last quick little subject before the end of the video, because I can sneak one more in. I got better Wi-Fi this week. Well, hey, so I might try streaming again at some point. I don't know if it'll actually be that good. I think I might need to get a better Wi-Fi dongle for my PC because it's not really getting much better internet throughput. If that's the right terminology, probably not, don't really care. And yeah, I think it's definitely a limitation of my internet dongle. But my Xbox can probably stream natively from the console, but that just feels like a waste when I've got a capture card, so maybe I should just invest in a new dongle. I don't know. I'm not really in the mood to invest in things right now, though. Like, I need a new mouse, I need new earphones, like, everything's starting to break, and I'm just like, well, there's no overtime at work to fund all this, so I guess I'm just gonna deal. Again, I really probably wouldn't have got Pokemon Brilliant Diamond if it weren't for that lucky thing about the phone bill. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I guess I'll see you in the next one.